Hello, my name is Dick Jones, and this is my review for the Kinesis Advantage2 Ergonomic keyboard, which I've been using as my main keyboard for almost 6 years now. I'll begin by talking about its initially off-putting ergonomic design, with its separated as well as recessed key beds and accompanying thumb keys, the likes of which frankly felt utterly alien to me for 3 days. But after that, I was off and running, typing faster and more comfortably than ever. All it took was that 3-day typing speed slump for me to get used to the Advantage2, and now typing on a standard computer keyboard frankly feels foreign and uncomfortable. As for the ergonomic advantages of the Advantage2, it greatly takes strain off the hands, forearms, neck, and shoulders, allowing you to relax and more easily maintain better posture while not having to worry about the tightness and resulting pain in your body that comes from prolonged typing in a physically scrunched position. I have as of yet to really feel any pain associated with typing on it, my only issues of anything resembling carpal tunnel occurring on those rare occasions when I've been sedentary for too long and not engaging in physical activity. As an aside, if you work on a computer a lot, I would highly recommend you engage in strenuous physical activity of some sort, especially those activities incorporating your upper body in order to counteract the accumulated stress and potential damage caused by those repetitive motions associated with typing. Personally, I've always been physically active, especially in regards to weight training, which I've been doing since my early teens, and I have to say, just about any time I've ever had an issue with typing is when I've been neglecting my physical health. So while the Advantage2 will help if you already have issues, it, nor any other keyboard, will act as a cure-all to greater physical problems you may be having. Now, onto the keys. When I purchased my Advantage2 almost 6 years ago, I opted for Cherry MX Brown switches, and I have to say, I've grown to really like them. They have just the right amount of tactile feel to them without feeling overly clicky, clacky, or clanky. Plus, they're relatively quiet while retaining a nice, subtle clicking sound. All in all, they're just right, and are supposedly rated for 50 million clicks. The only problem key I've had is the S, which recently stopped registering clicks on occasion. But after a thorough cleaning of the keyboard, it's working perfectly again. As for the keycaps, they feel fine, and except for the smaller function keys, haven't experienced any fading. Something to note, however, is that the Advantage2 is not hot swappable. Just something to keep in mind if you are considering purchasing it. In fact, I don't think any Kinesis products are hot swappable. Regarding programmability, it's a breeze to program in commands. A feature I personally haven't had to make much use of, as I mostly use the keyboard to write fiction. However, it's there if you need it, and even better, it's all on board, so no having to mess with potentially pain-in-the-ass interfaces. So far, I've been largely gushing over the Advantage2, and for good reason. It's been a great keyboard, and I would happily repurchase it again and again. But I would like to mention any potentially cons that would arise for some people, as well as what I see as lost opportunity for Kinesis in their designing the keyboard. First possible con? Price. My current Advantage2 was around $350 when I purchased it, and they're approaching $400 these days, I believe. And I'm not sure Kinesis are even still making this model, which is a shame. They seem to be pushing for users to shell out now close to $500 for the newer, fully split, 2-piece keyboard model, which frankly has a chintzier look to it. As for this model, however, I personally feel like I've gotten my money's worth, and then some, but I can see the price being a bit steep for some people, specifically those on the fence as to whether they should purchase or not. And I gotta be honest, for something that is essentially just a bit of plastic with an internal board capable of basic programmability, the price does seem a bit steep, especially considering I've had cheaper keyboards that had a sturdier feel to them. But personally, I feel that the body benefiting effects of the keyboard outweigh such costs. Excluding perhaps buying replacement pads for your palms. $25 for 2 pads? That's insane. But like I mentioned, I'm not even sure if Kinesis are producing this model anymore, so the crazy price for replacement palm pads might just be a result of that. Though I believe one of the older reviews I read for the pads contained complaints regarding the same price. But moving on. Period of adjustment. Like I mentioned at the start of my review, it took me around 3 days to get used to typing on the Advantage2, and that's with lots of typing. so I'm sure it will vary for people, specifically in regards to the amount of typing they'll be doing. I suppose if you're on a time crunch at work, you might want to hold off on making the switch to an ergonomic keyboard and set aside time for adjustment. An adjustment that goes both ways, only not so extreme when returning to a standard keyboard. It simply can feel awkward going back and forth between traditional and ergonomic keyboards is all. As for lost opportunity, I think there's frankly wasted real estate on the keyboard itself. It might become less aesthetically pleasing to look at, but there's no reason why an assortment of programmable keys couldn't have been placed at other locations on the board. A cluster in the middle of the keyboard, for example. Programmable keys like Kinesis has on some of their other keyboards. That complaint, however, is minor, and frankly amounts to me wanting more of an already great product. In conclusion, I can say with all honesty I will never go back to typing on a standard computer keyboard, and those times that I must frankly feel horrible. All in all, I wholeheartedly endorse this product, and do plan on trying out the most recent iteration of it provided by Kinesis at some point. Maybe even get a foot controller to go with it. Or maybe I'll just pick up another Advantage2. That is, unless I get another 6 years out of this one. Just gotta wait and damn, that darn S is crapping out on me again. Oh well, I guess it's just time to upgrade. Just kidding. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you found my review of the Kinesis Advantage2 ergonomic keyboard useful. And if you did, perhaps you'd also enjoy some of those stories that I wrote and or edited or revised with my Advantage2, such as I Am the Worm, which deals with the subject matter of hoarding, Where God is an Astronaut, a story about an amnesia-ridden man who wakes up in bizarre settings and even more bizarrely believes that he is God, despite not being able to in the slightest control those chaotic events that seem to follow him and the strange spaceship crew that's foisted on him. Thanks again for watching. Links to my books and music in description.